I've been thinking about it, like things have changed a lot. Right? When I think about, before everyone had a cell phone in their hand, like we would sit in, the dentist's office and like look at, magazines and flip through and see ads and, stare at the wall and, notice, whatever advertising there was, around the office. It's just one example, right? But now, we're all competing for people's attention, right? They call it the what attention economy. Um, what how do you break through? So, we're all trying to throw mud at the wall. Can you tell us like what are you learning as far as the the brands that have the ability to break through to get people's attention? What are they doing?
I mean, one of the reasons why I even started Assembly is I think the best brands are doing are they're creating content people seek out, and they're creating stories that they're creating fans that are interested in. Um, and Huckberry does a great job with their series Dirt. North Face has always done a wonderful job telling their stories of, adventure and overcoming, giant feats. Um, and I think we seek those things out if we're watching, if we're flipping through YouTube or watching those are the things like I'll go to and watch, and like I don't care if it's put on by a brand or all, so I think that's really what's standing out to me is creating return. This idea that if I'm telling a story or creating environment, will someone come back to it because they were entertained, because they were inspired, and that's hard to do. Um, but it's not as hard as most brands probably think. They just have to invest, the time into the slow growth that like a YouTube channel does. Most of them already have so many different thousands, hundreds of thousands of fans. If you're a bigger brand, if you're a smaller brand, great place to start. I know that Huckberry started with like 10,000 followers on their YouTube channel, and by investing in series driven content, they're up, right next to North Face, up at like 450,000 followers inside of like 2 or 3 years with their show. And so um, it's great to see things like that, because then it starts to turn advertising into less advertising and more into entertainment. And that's what, I'm, strongly behind